All right, we are at Busan Kotesol, and not only language geeks here, we've got magazine guys.
Magazine geeks?
Magazine geeks, I was going to say that. I thought, well, 10 magazines too cool to be called geeks, but this is David from
David Carruth.
10 Magazine. First of all, for the two people in Korea who haven't heard of your magazine, what is 10 Magazine?
10 Magazine is an English language source of information for expats living in Korea. We especially try to provide information for people who maybe haven't lived in Korea very long and don't exactly know where to turn for news and updates about things that are happening, events, perhaps baseball. You want to go to a baseball game, you don't know where the schedule is, we have that kind of information. So basically, whatever your interest is, probably we have something that would match that.
And how long has it been around?
We got started in September of 2008, so we're coming up on our second year.
And how long have you been involved?
I personally got started right after the magazine came out, but I was doing part-time work at the time, and I started full-time last October. So I've been full-time since that time.
Wow, this is like a day job.
This is my real job, yeah.
Wow.
They sponsored my visa and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many people work full-time for 10 Magazine?
We have 5 full-time staff members, 3 are Korean, and then there's the editor, Stephen Revere, who started the magazine, and then me. So 2 Americans and 3 Koreans on the staff.
And what exactly is your position?
Well, my title is assistant editor, which means I do all the dirty work. Specifically, I do the calendar writing. So we have an events calendar which covers things that are happening all across the country, organized by province. And along with one other staff member who does the research, I do most of the translation and composition of that section.
How do you put that together? Like, do you contact...
It's an interesting process. We've kind of honed it over a period of time, and I don't really want to give away all of our secrets, but basically it involves a lot of internet research. We've compiled a list of sites that have the information we need, and our researcher, our Korean staff member, goes through and finds the events and feeds them to me, and then I go and I translate and come up with a short description of each one and find the information that people would need, and then we print it.
What kind of feedback do you get from readers? What do they like most about it? What do they suggest?
We get a wide variety. I mean, you can't please everyone. We do try to be pretty diverse in the amount of content and the variety of content that we carry, but sometimes people, for instance, something that I remember recently, people will ask us for more serious content, maybe cultural commentary or discussion of kind of the dark side of Korea, which is fine. I personally enjoy reading about that kind of stuff, but there's only so much you can do with one magazine, and we're not trying to be a news source. We're trying to be an event source. We're a lifestyle magazine.
How do you draw the line of what's okay to say and what's not okay to say?
That's a good question. There's obviously it's up to the discretion of the editorial staff, but we try to be positive. I mean, we're not here to give Korea a bad name. We're here to help people enjoy their time in Korea. So our basic criteria is, will this help people have a better time while they're here? And if it doesn't meet that criteria, then it's really not what we're trying to do. That doesn't mean that we disagree with people who do cover that kind of material. There are lots of bloggers online. Gus of Popular Feeling, Matt, I've met him. I really enjoy the sort of really in-depth critical writing that he does. And there's a place for that, but that's just not what we're really involved with right now. So that's our basic criterion.
Have you had any articles that stirred controversy?
We have, but not the kind of controversy people would be interested in hearing about. More like hotels didn't like what we wrote about them, and so we heard back about that.
Now, how do you deal with it? Like, the internet law in Korea is pretty challenging to deal with, because basically if anyone criticizes something about a business, they have the right to say, take that down.
There's that, and there's also the really strict libel and slander laws here. People like Joe McPherson from Zen Kimchi have some interesting stories to tell about that. The only option that you have in that situation, especially if it's an advertiser, is just to say, we're sorry and we won't do it again, and edit the content online. Obviously, you can't edit the magazine once it's out. You can't have a recall.
Have you guys gotten sued yet?
Not yet, so we're doing okay. I wouldn't say that we're very controversial, and like I said, people sometimes wish we were more controversial. But we're still a fairly small magazine, and it hasn't been very long since we started up. So we're still trying to maintain a good reputation.
What has your growth rate been like?
Really good. You can if I had one of the earlier copies of the magazine, I could show you where we were located. We have a locations with 10 page, but I can show you our latest copy.
Oh, yeah, actually, let's get that on camera.
Okay. Yeah, we have a locations with 10 page. I'm not sure if that's going to show up, but basically, it shows you the airport lobbies, the hotels where we're carried in every guest room.
Got a shot at 10 magazine, Mary.
There's the front cover. This issue is the June issue, and we wrote about theme parks and zoos and other places where you can go out.
What do you know about your Korean readership?
We know that we have some. There are Korean subscribers to the magazine. Obviously, there are Koreans who go to Kyobo Bookstore and buy it, or go to our various advertisers and bars. In Seoul, maybe we're carried at, for instance, 3 Alley Pub, which is a very popular expat venue, but also Koreans go there, and no doubt Koreans pick up the magazine. It's hard to measure. It's really hard to gauge where the magazines go.
Why are you here at the Kotesol conference?
Personally, okay. Well, we think that Kotesol has a great selection of people who would want to see what we are publishing. I mean, it's always a question of where's your market, and we feel that the Kotesol has a large section of our market. And
literate people.
Literate people who are interested in, who are very active, engaged in life in Korea, who want to get out there and explore more. And that's what we're all about.
And now this is a language learning conference. Any thoughts on using 10 magazine for language learning?
Well, in a sense, we already are. We do have a Shot of Korean section, which our main editor, Stephen Revere, we have a small section in every issue where Stephen Revere writes up a little short article about some Korean phrase or expression or bit of grammar that might be interesting. So in that sense, it's a language learning section. Now, Stephen used to teach Korean and has published a popular Korean language learning book called Survival Korean. So he's highly qualified for that. It's something that we've considered before. We've run articles on learning Korean.
And of course, there's plenty of current, relevant English material there.
Obviously, for the English teaching side of things, the magazine itself is great learning content. And in fact, we have people who have subscribed for that purpose or have requested that we send old magazines to use in their classroom or whatnot.
All right. So give us contact information or how they can access it online, stuff like that.
All right. For those of you who are wanting to see our online content, we have www.10magazine.asia. That's 10magazine.asia. You can also call the magazine if you want to talk to us directly. And our number, we're located in Seoul. And our phone number there is 02-3447-1610. 3447-1610. And you can also email me personally at dc@10magazine.asia. My name's David. And I'd be glad to hear from you if you have any questions about us and what we're doing.
All right. Well, thank you very much, David. Good luck.
My pleasure. Good to talk to you.